All right, what up, Who That Nation? This is No Cap, No Filter. Saints back at y'all. Another one. Got my main man B up in here. Got Marlon up in here. We got to talk about these Saints, man. We're going to get into a little preview of the Saints matchup with the Buffalo Bills. It's going to be in New York. My mama actually going to be at that game. I don't know why she going to see that ass whooping, but she going. Me personally, I'll be watching it right at the TV. Before we get into that, man, I gotta get y'all opinions on what y'all seen in the last matchup, man. Saints versus the Seahawks. We went up there, we got our ass bust, we got embarrassed. A lot of people knew we was gonna lose this game, but a lot of people ain't won't see us lose this game the way we lost this game, the fashion that we lost this game. Um, I'm gonna go ahead on and let you start it off. Be like, man, what was your thoughts on this game? What did you take in?
I mean, it's exactly what you said. Going into the game, not a surprise if they lost. It was the way they lost. They look like the most undisciplined team in the NFL. They almost have they come across as a team that likes their head coach but doesn't respect their head coach. Or it definitely they don't fear their head coach. And I don't know if that's something that you can turn around at this point in the season. Like if Kellen Moore can't just flip a swip and become a disciplinarian, he can't do that. His only method of saving his team is to start benching players, and then if he comes across disingenuous, he loses the locker room. So for me, it just seemed like a not necessarily everything that can go wrong will go wrong, but it was hot knife met butter, and Seattle cut clean through their asses and kept on going, man. It wasn't even there was no resistance there.
Hmm.
So for
Hold,
me,
hold on, B.
yeah,
Hold on, B. One of y'all got a TV on in the background? I can hear it.
Oh yeah. Let me cut it down.
All right. All right, go ahead on
All
B.
right.
yeah, for sure, man. But it's like I just feel like man, Kellen Moore can't he can't flip certain switches at this point. Like he can't go back in time and be like, well, I wish I would have started practicing at those training camp practices a little bit early in the daytime, but I'm not a morning person. That's the type of shit that that he was saying. I'm not a morning person, so I'm not gonna practice early in the morning. We'll get up at 3. Like that's crazy. Because all of your
Mm.
games start for 12 o'clock. Like, why would you even, why would you not want to? So, and for a little bit of added, nuance, man. Stop going on business trips and trying to make them pleasurable. You went out to Seattle for a business trip. What the hell are y'all doing going on a love boat ride? Man, get your asses on the practice field and learn what you got to learn because they look like they weren't ready in all 3 phases. And there's
Mm.
a bunch of players at this point that really need to, take a spot on the bench, bro, and let somebody else get in there at this point.
Mm.
That's all I got, brother.
All right, what about you, Marlon? What you take from the game? I know I'm pretty sure you got a lot of stuff you want to let off, but go ahead on and speak your piece, man.
So I guess my take from the game was I know I'm like deemed negative, but like my take from the game was like all that kind of like optimism I would have in like 2027 about them potentially they can, maybe sneak in and maybe make the playoffs. We got to push that back at least a full year. This team is so far away on like a multitude of levels. Like the Seahawks, I would probably rank the Seahawks somewhere between the 11th and 15th best team. And that's what they did to you. Like not the best team in the league didn't do that to you. Like the 11th, like a team that's like right outside the top 10 in the teams did that to you. So like they so far away. It's not enough talent on the team. I think we have some talented players, but like I don't think they'll ever show here like it'll show in another situation. But I just think that they like really really far away. I know I said I've been speaking all off season like far as Kellen, like I'll give him like leeway because at least roster wise I know that this roster has started a slow deterioration ever since they passed on Lamar Jackson. It started that night, but the talent from those previous drafts and even the 2019 draft was so good that it would be slow. But that was just the start of like the downfall or that one specific draft pick. But like far as the head coach for this situation, like yeah, I know it's just 3 games. I know it's not even October yet. I do have like serious concerns about him overall as a coach. Like I think how we say Shuck, like some people say when we immediately drafted Shuck, oh, he'll be a bridge quarterback. Like Kellen looks real bridge type of coach to me. Like I don't think I want to give him again. I want to give him. I
Kellen
want to give him.
Bridgewater.
I want to give him some like leeway, at least roster wise, but like it's just some stuff that I see overall that like I don't think a coach of his temperament, for how bad this job is, I think you need something completely different because I don't
Mhm.
know if this will work. Like if you told me Kellen, say hypothetically, like if Jim Harbaugh wasn't the coach, right? Like that Chargers team last year had went to the playoffs, and like say Jim Harbaugh had like suddenly retired, and Kellen Moore took over that team, I would be like, okay, they might have some success. Like he can take over a situation like that. A situation like this is like worst team in the league. Like we basically the worser version of the Tennessee Titans because the Titans probably a year ahead, but even that team is like complete dog shit. But like, I don't know if a coach of his temperament can take over complete dog shit like this, especially when you pair it with that type of front office and ownership group that we have, which is awful. So
Mm.
that's really what I learned.
You talk about his temperament. I think a lot of people they already seen the possibilities of him being this new whiz kid. He could be the new Kevin O'Connell. He could be the new maybe Sean McVay. But we were wondering about his leadership. A lot of people felt like had we hired that Dolphins defensive coordinator, we wouldn't have had those questions about his leadership. You talk about his temperament on being able to handle this job. I'm old enough to remember Brian being on Twitter saying, "Hey, in the state of the Saints right now, they might look at Mike McCarthy, see what you want about him, but he got the pedigree to get this team, not looking like how it's looking week 3. Everybody was saying, "Oh man, we need to go ahead and give the young guy a shot, man. We never know he could be the next Sean Payton." Now look at us, and it's human nature. It is human nature just to uh look back in hindsight and say, man, what you should have did. When things not going right, you're gonna look at what we used to have. If you ever had a job, you're gonna look at what supervisor you used to have. If they was the cool supervisor, y'all get y'all work done, but y'all having fun while y'all doing it. New supervisor come in for whatever reason, the old supervisor they let him go or he left. Now he changed the whole landscape. Nobody don't like the job workplace anymore. Everything changed up on side his head, and everybody can't help but to compare him to the last guy. I put on Twitter, I said, man, I got to stop comparing Kellen Moore and any other head coach to Sean Payton. I got to stop comparing any quarterback to Drew. That era is over, but it's human nature for me to just to go back and unfairly to them compare them to, the cream of the crop. And I don't want to be that fan that's just going to always say, man, Sean Payton would have never did that. Drew Brees would have did this. Drew Brees would have did that. And I don't want to be that fan that's going to always perpetually be in that same cycle. Just like a Cowboys fan wondering about all them Super Bowls they used to got and this year going to be their year. Like, I just don't want to be like that. But am I wrong for can't help it to be like that? Let me know, B. Am I wrong?
No, but I'm about to even help you even further. I don't think you really have to worry about the comparison to Sean. And that's the bigger problem. The problem is we can't compare Kellen Moore to Dennis Allen right now. Like it's that bad. Dennis Allen was gifted a Ferrari. He just didn't know how to drive it, so he wrecked it clean into a wall. Kellen Moore now has found that Ferrari. It has to rebuild it from the ground up. And the problem is that it looks just as bad under Kellen Moore as it did the way Dennis Allen gave it to you. So it doesn't look any different to me. And I think that's the problem. So it's fair for you to look at it and say, man, I don't think Sean would have had us in this position. It's fair for you to say, I don't know if Mike McCarthy or insert head coach here would have us where we are now. But as of right now, Kellen looks to be more of a friend than a head coach. And that's going to have to change because as long as he in that friend zone, we already know he ain't going to score. That's the end of it. And that's why you can compare him to Sean because you can look at it and say, yes, Sean got a mess just like this, if not worse. And he was able to turn it around. But Sean, as Marlon, said, the temperament. Kellen Moore don't have that type of temperament. And he doesn't have a mentor. Just think about that for a minute. Who's his mentor? A college head coach. Where his NFL OGs at? He doesn't have any. He don't have a Bill Parcells. He don't have a Bill Belichick. He don't have these people to lean on. He got Nick Sirianni. He got Chris Peterson, his old head coach. He got his dad, who was a head coach at the high school level. But he don't have an OG in the game that's going to be able to pull him to the side and be like, look, you better figure this part out. Because at some point, everything turns. It's going to roll downhill real quickly. So he better figure it out because I don't think the Buffalo game is going to be it. But that Giants one, if they look like that against the Giants, oh boy, watch how the Avalanche starts on Kellen Moore ass.
Hmm. Yeah, man. During the off season, we was looking at all the team activity things they're doing, building up camaraderie. Everybody was feeling good about it. They going bowling, they going paintballing, they getting to learn each other. They getting to have each other backs under certain situations. But now, come next season, nobody want to hear all that. Nobody want to see all that just as much as nobody want to see the 24-hour rule tweet with Camby tweeting after a loss. Nobody want to see all that. We want to see you in the film room. It's giving me Greenbrier vibes or whatever that place we used to go to with Sean Payton, where it felt like it was a soft training camp. It's giving me those vibes where Sean Payton came up in there and threw up all them relaxing chairs up in the locker room throughout all that. All them games they had around there. Now they got all these nerds talking about 2K and all that, man. So that's why we need rappers and we need people that was going to jail on our team again, bro. We need them Tyron Armsteads. We need seated dudes. He back on the free agent market. They got some people want him back just to have some type of culture in the locker room. We ain't got nothing. I don't even remember last time we did a celebration in the locker room after a win. We don't even do that no more. We don't even know where to go get a disco ball at no more in a smoke. Man, what you think about all that, Marlon, and what you think about the human nature for fans that just compare Kellen to Sean and stuff?
Yeah. Now I say on your point, when it comes to Mike McCarthy, I would still absolutely not hire Mike McCarthy. I don't want to be mid, and I think Mike McCarthy makes you mid. I don't have a problem with being the worst team in the league. Like I just make it more. You want it to be more like week 1 and 2, and not like week 3. But I don't have a problem with getting number 1 pick. And the thing is, what I seen this year, what I seen like also from the game is, yeah, we're gonna get the number 1 pick this year, and also next year we getting the top 3 pick. Like that's what I really seen. And to be honest, that shit gonna make the team better overall. That's the that's blue chip players, like players where potentially if you getting some of these players, I expect my expectation is like that needs to be a Hall of Famer, and we
Okay,
need that.
one second, Rain. I don't mean to cut your knowledge, bro, because I don't disagree with you. My question to you is, but do you trust the man in charge to make the picks with those blue chip players?
I don't, but what I'm saying is some of these players, like the players I'm talking about, like we talking about the Ruben Baines or making a small trade back of like Caleb Downs. Like Ruben Bain, that's gonna be a really good player. Like if we had a top 3 pick in 2027, say hypothetically we took a quarterback and Jeremiah Smith is like he just fall to your left. Like I expect Jeremiah Smith to be a Hall of Famer. Like if he not Julio Jones, Andre Johnson, then his career is a failure, in my opinion. Because that's what I expect from him. So like I think some of these players is just like no brainers.
No,
But
no, I don't mean based on the players. I mean, do you trust the guy in charge to pick said player? Like, it's one thing for a Aaron Donald. It's one thing for Aaron Donald to be there available at the number, let's say 3 pick or whatever like that. It's one thing for Aaron Donald to be there. It's another thing for Mickey Loomis to know Aaron Donald was there, but he goes and he picks a Stephon Anthony instead. That's what I'm asking you. Do you trust Mickey Loomis to be able to look and identify talent and say, you know what? That's the guy I need. Because as of
I
right
don't
now, I can't tell you I trust him to
I
do
don't
that.
I don't trust them at all, but I just don't think you can fuck up like in this range. In that range, like 2 to 3, where I think they're gonna be at for the next 2 years. But like
Mickey Loomis picked Cedric Ellis. I just want to remind you of that. He picked Cedric Ellis. This was like the number 8 pick. Like let's not forget who Mickey Loomis is.
No, at least he can't pick a
I
tackle
get it.
because we got 2
Are you
tackles already,
sure?
and they ain't gonna
Are
pick
you
no
sure?
guard that high.
Are you sure? Because what if
Mhm.
Fuaga doesn't remain healthy this year?
Hmm. Hmm.
But regarding like your point of comparing like him to Sean, I think this job, other than the fact that like that was a natural disaster, I think from a football standpoint, this job is way worse like than it was in 2006. That's just my opinion. So I'm not gonna compare him to Sean. I just know that that's always gonna be the measuring point. like Sean and Drew because they got the most success in the organization. But so I do recognize that that's gonna be the measuring point, and like I mean, it's probably not right, but it's just always gonna be there. Like people always gonna be, are you Breeze? Like I don't compare like a Spencer Rattler to like, oh, can he be Drew Brees? No. Like I said last week, I think Spencer Rattler is a B+ draft pick because he's when you draft a quarterback in the 5th round, you want them to become like a actual backup. And I actually think like even without a win, I think he's a legitimate NFL backup. Like I think he'll be a backup on majority every team in the league. So I would say that's a B+, but I'm not about to like go say, oh, Spence, he the franchise. Like, so, but I just think it's natural to compare anybody that's gonna come here and compare him to like what we seen at his highest.
Mhm. What do you guys think about the CD Gardner Johnson getting brought back to the Saints, and what do y'all think about the rumors of AK being, possibly traded? You go first, B.
Uh, as far as AK is concerned, man, I'm like you essentially 2 losses away from being in that type of position anyway. Those 2 losses could be Buffalo and New York. So I'm wondering, does it even matter? Like AK is not, you're not an Alvin Kamara away from making this team better. And if you trade Alvin Kamara, it's not like you're in a situation to where it may have been a couple of years ago. You trade Alvin, what do you have behind him? Well, if you trade Alvin now, you have Kendra that you need to look at. You have Devin Neal that you drafted in the 4th round that you feel like is promising. And to be honest, like I said, Alvin Kamara isn't saving your season. So if Alvin wants to stay, I guess you can make a concession, but you go to him and you ask him, would you like to go play for a contender? Would you like to go to Kansas City? Do you mind going to LA out there and playing with the Chargers or the Rams or somebody? Like, you try to find him a good winning situation. Hell, Buffalo need a running back. That could be a very promising trade because Buffalo can afford to give you, not that they will, but they can afford to give you a 2nd round pick because it's going to be in the 60s. So
Mhm.
I mean, maybe you make that move if that's a situation if Buffalo want to give up a 2nd or 3rd round or not. I don't think so because hell, I would imagine Alvin goes for at best a 6th rounder, maybe a 5th if you lucky, conditional 5th. But that's about it on that, man. I don't see it happening. But I do think they're about 2 losses away from them should being major sellers to try to reset this thing even faster with more bites at the apple. And Rainey mentioned it a minute ago, man, that if you do have one of those top picks, I'd love to see them trade back and try to control the 27 draft and the 28 draft. And after that, so you can have as many bites at the apple as you can because this team lacks talent. Like, there's nobody on the roster that if you looked at it said as a starter that they are a top 5 player at their position. Maybe you have Eric McCoy, you could say that about. But top 5 at their positions, you can't really say that about nobody on the Saints roster. And I know the next name that comes up besides, Eric McCoy, maybe Demario. Demario not a top 5 linebacker. Damn good. He's not a top 5 linebacker.
Mhm.
So and as far as CD Deuce, heavens no, man. Leave that boy where you at, bro.
And it's funny because I seen that dude at my job not too long ago, but I told him, I said, man, stay healthy. He was like, all right, shit. Little do we know. He started getting injured. He started playing, and then same old song and dance, just bouncing around to different teams. But what about you, Marlon? What you think?
Yeah, I never, not in this state. Chauncey got to go to a team that got like a strong locker room. It got to be like best team in the league where like a person can handle it. He just if you like just read the stuff, like he do shit where he start talking about other players' money. Like
Mhm.
he break all the unwritten rules of football. Like so, yeah. Good luck to him. I don't think he got that much longer left in the league because you can't burn bridges with every team you go on. But
Mhm.
far as trading AK, uh, I mean, I wouldn't have signed him because I knew where we was heading. But I do think he got value. I think like a team. I think hypothetically, teams in the same division will bid for him. I think I would if we can get a fort for him, that would be amazing. Real like if we can find a way to get a fourth for him, find a way to get a fifth for Demario, like I think those would be amazing trades. I think even a guy like Granderson, if we can I think we can get a third for him because he has multiple years left on a really good contract, and he has 2 years beyond, not even including this year. He got 2 years left on it after this year. Um, I'm even considering trading Shaheed because I don't think he's gonna stay anyway. Like, wow, if I'm a player, like I'm not staying here. If I can like leave in free agency and still get money, um, I think the most we'll get for somebody is Chris. I think we can get a second for Chris, but like I'm not re-signing here any either. So like I got those five players really that I'm like looking into strongly considering the trade because we just need as many picks as possible. Because like I said, this is gonna take a long time, so you might as well just reset everywhere. Like who cares if you lose Alvin Kamara and you thinking about well who's gonna replace him? We not gonna win with him, so it doesn't make any sense.
Mm. Uh, man, we talked about Kellen Moore. We talked about questioning his leadership. Man, that boy Staley, he was looking like he was having flashbacks to me. Like that week when the team gave up on him and they just got embarrassed on that primetime game. Man, the defense not the defense not looking good. The special teams, I think a lot of people are skipping over the special teams. Whoever the special teams coordinator is, it, I mean, Blake Groupie missing kicks. You got people running back plenty yards, running back touchdowns on us on kick returns. Uh, we let go JT Gray. I mean, we just can't get right on special team, and that's a huge facet of the game, especially when you're a team that can't move the ball. You want to be able to have good field position. Um, how y'all feeling about Staley and how y'all feeling about the special teams coordinator? I mean, Falcons, they dropped their nuts. When a young hoe out there acting up, you got to go ahead on and kick him to the curb, and that's what they did with their kicker. And I want my team to stand on business. Do y'all think Blake Grupe gonna survive this season? Like, will he get cut? Will he get benched? Like, it still remains to be seen. We gotta see that backbone out of Kellen Moore. We gotta see some type of backbone out the front office. Like, heads got to roll.
I think when it comes to groupie, he's the easiest one you can do that to. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the one you can be like, you know what, we can afford to bench him as a message to the rest of the team. But that's not really sending a message to the team because everybody understands groupie ain't playing up to par. The special team sucks right now. So as far as groupie and the coordinator, both of them could see the bench. The coordinator could get fired, groupie could get benched, and the Saints would be able to survive. And then it looks bigger than really what it is. Defensively, look, man, I'm not saying Staley was gonna come up in here and create the 85 Bears defense. So how they played against Seattle is what happens when you step up in competition. San Francisco was hurt. Arizona, first game of the season. You're still trying to get your feet wet. I think now that you went into week 3, going into week 4, I don't think Staley's going to be looked at as when Buffalo beat their ass this week. I don't think Staley's going to be looked at as you don't know how to coach the defense. It's going to be looked at as you're converting from a 3-4, I mean a 4-3 to a 3-4. You don't have players. You don't have a number 1 or a number 2 corner. You don't have a number 1 or a number 2 safety. You barely have a pass rush. And Chase Young, the minute he step on the field, is an Achilles pop, which is waiting to happen. Cam Jordan is too old to really be your premier pass rusher. Carl Granderson is only out, is almost playing like a man by himself, and you have absolutely positively no help along your defensive line in the interior because Brian Brzee ain't never seen a run play he ain't want to run away from.
Mm.
So it's just like this is what's happening right now, and he's supposed to be a big body in the middle, and then on top of that they losing their temper and they playing with penalties. Demario can't do it by himself. Pete Werner can't do it by himself. But and by the time, anytime your middle linebackers are leading your team in tackles, that's not really a good sign. And if your safety is one of your top 3 in tackles, that's even worse because that means he's getting to the third level. The people are getting to the third level on him, or they moving the ball with good consistency. Nah, man, this whole thing got to be rebuilt from the ground up, and that's why going into the season, both Marlon and myself was like, man, this option, this Homer Q ass, mentality of people thinking that the Saints not in a rebuild and they're gonna be able to just go out there and duplicate it in 17 and knowing all of that jackassery they was doing, man. If you didn't know this was going to be the outcome, then that's really delusional for you. That ain't on nobody else. You set yourself up for this ass whooping, go ahead on and take it. And that's where we are with it, man. So no, I don't think Brandon Staley should be fired. I say the same thing I say with Kellen Moore. I'm not against keeping Kellen Moore for the entire tenure of his contract that he signed because he knew what he signed up for. This was going to be a full rebuild. including me needing to find a quarterback, rebuild the O line, rebuild a D line, bringing somebody I trust to coach defense. This like anybody not seeing this shit is not. They ain't even blind. They dumb and crazy and need to be fitted for a straitjacket.
Boy, Q said this exact team would have been 11 games had Shook been a starter. I remember that. I'll never forget that.
And that right there, I'm glad you said that so I can go ahead on and turn it over to Marlon so he can get his balls off, man. I'm so sick in people trying to make every excuse for why Shuck should be playing. If Shuck not going to play the Taysom Hill role, meaning that he going to play every fucking position on the field that's going to allow him to get on there, what are we talking about? Because the quarterback position is not why you losing. You may not be winning because of the quarterback position, but you're not losing because of him either. Shuck ain't making this team no better than what they are. He can go 20 for 20 for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, no picks, and the Saints still gonna lose. Why they gonna lose that game? Because they can't stop nobody. The offensive line is ass. It's not a trick to why the Saints are losing games. They're not disciplined. They're giving the game away through penalties and turnovers and shit. Well, not just turnovers, but penalties and poor play. You're not doing nothing with that offensive line, bro. So unless Shuck don't play like every damn position like back in the old Bugs Bunny cartoons, played everywhere. That's the only way you changing this roster, bro. So stop with the Shuck shit. It's not Spencer, bro. I ain't saying, I know 1 or 2 misses here and there can change the outcome of the game or whatever like that, but let's call it what it is. The only reason why that's a factor is because the Saints aren't good enough to overcome the 1 or 2 misses Spencer might have, because that might be his only opportunity.
And he ain't making it no better with the Giants moving to Jackson Dart. Everybody swear to God, it's going to be a Shuck versus Dart showdown that game. What you got to do, Marlon?
I guess it's kind of like I thought Brandon Staley was an awful hire from the start. So that's just like me personally. I don't think he's a good coach. I think when he was a good coach, it was a COVID year and he had the best defensive player ever, or one of them. And then he had like a prime Jalen Ramsey that can play like star at an elite role.
It
And
looked
then
like
he
Kellen was. It looked like Clint Kubiak was out coaching him to me too.
Oh, I mean, yeah, he's really not a good defensive coordinator. He got contributed because of the 2020 Rams defense, but like I said, it had it was the catalyst behind it was an all-time great player in Aaron Donald. And then he had like an elite star, like Jalen Ramsey had switched from outside corner to like star, and he's an elite DB. So like he had both of those guys in their primes, and like even they give him a nod for the Bears defense in 2018. That Bears defense had players everywhere. They had prime Khalil Mack. Like the Saints don't have that. When he was a Derwin James was not good for 3 years when he played for Brandon Staley. He only played good against Travis Kelsey, but that's it. But Derwin James, a good ass player like Derwin James, wasn't really good for 3 years when he was under Brandon Staley. So that told me everything right there. But like, I guess we do got to give him some time. He might be a bridge DC too, because just like Kellen might be a bridge HC. But I mean, I guess we just got to give him some time because the talent is just not there. Like I think the Saints is like last in pressure rate. Even when they do get pressure, it's like they the last. It's like the most amount of time to get a pressure. I think whatever the way you like interpret the stat, like they last in that. Um, it's bad everywhere. Like I actually think Justin Reed doesn't look good at all here. But Justin Reed might just be a player that, hey man, I just played 20 games a year for 3 years. Now I get this money and get to be at home. Like I'm not saying he quit or nothing, but like I mean he don't got to be hungry. He got his rings already.
Is Tyrann Matthew sending shots at Chase Young?
I don't care what Tyrann Matthew got to say.
It seemed like he's
He was
sending
cooked
shots at Chase
anyway.
Young. No, that wasn't Chase Young. He was that other safety that had went down, man. What's that other safety?
Julian
Who,
Blackman?
Justin
Yeah,
Blackman?
it seemed like he was sending shots at him because he had the same injury. And Tyrann Matthew was saying, man, I played with that injury. And he was saying some other stuff. I'm like, man,
I'm
I
not.
don't
I'm
know.
not. I don't care about what past Saints got to say. That's like when Michael Thomas tweet, bro. They don't play here no more. I worry about the players on the team.
Who comes back first, Chase or Taysom? Like, I don't even.
I wouldn't pick any of them. I don't think. I don't think Taysom play this year. So
Mm, okay. Well, I don't know what's going on with Chase, man. Like
Basically Chase Achilles about to tear. That's basically all it is. Like his Achilles is about to tear,
I thought it
and
was
that's
just
why they can't play him.
I thought it was just a calf.
Calf lead
Calf
to
strain.
Achilles.
Calf strain. Every time you see a person with a calf strain, especially somebody that big, that weight, trying to move that fast, I'm
He
gonna tell you
gonna
the
take
last
one
person.
step, and
Yep,
that shit gonna pop.
last
One.
person who tried that shit was about Chase size. Not taller, yeah, but about the same height weight ratio is Boogie Cousins. Boogie had a calf strain. Pelicans traded for him. Not long after that, pop goes the fucking weasel.
Mm.
You can see it in the finals. Tyrese Halliburton got a calf strain
Yep,
week 5. Then the Pelicans did that dumbass trade with that pick, but he had it in he got it in game 5. Game 7, 6 days later, one step.
one
That's
step
all he needed.
gone. You could see it shake.
Damn.
You could see it pop,
That
and
that's why
that's
like one of the reasons why like the Chase contract, because the Saints signed 3 contracts this year, and
all three were fucking stupid. Yeah, I got you.
the I like Justin Reed, but Justin Reed don't look good so far here. Like I wouldn't re-sign that again. The Chase contract. This is what the thing with Chase. I know we bring up like we got like Chris got a crazy concussion problem, but he played he don't really get hurt like body wise, and if he do, he'll play through it. Chase got a torn ACL that took 2 years to heal. He had a broken neck. Now you got this. This basically means his Achilles is on the verge of tearing. Like he got the most serious injuries. It was one of the reasons why I had tweeted yesterday. I was like, the Saints really shouldn't spend any money next year. Like they can't. They need to just take all that dead money they're gonna take. Like if you signing players, maybe one guard, but it should just be a lot of vet minimums and low contracts because like the money that they spent this year, that the people in the league said, oh, that team sucks. Why are they spending money? Well, those people who like I know a lot of our fans like to criticize the national media. Those national pundits was right because shit, Chase Young Achilles on the verge of tearing. Jawan Johnson ain't play bad, but fuck, he got 5 drops as a tight end. Like he has like 5. Like you can get on on actual like PFF. You can check. He has like 4 or 5 registered drops. Like that's leading the team in drops. Like nobody else on the team has a registered drop, but he got like 5 of them, and that's who we paid money to. And then you look at Justin Reed, and you signed him, and like you gonna have him. He not really playing good, and while he on your team on that contract, your team is never gonna be good. Like so, even the money that they spent just wasn't good money. That's why they just just stop spending money and just try to get as many draft picks as possible.
Mm. Uh, we play Buffalo Sunday, man. A lot of people feel like it's gonna be a massacre. Um, what you foresee happen in that game, B?
I think it's exactly what we all think gonna happen. I think Buffalo gonna drum their ass, man. But the crazy thing is I think the Saints gonna try to fight back.
I
But
heard they ain't
just
got no good
because
defense.
yeah, well, I mean that's what I'm saying. The Saints gonna try to fight back. Here's the problem though. It's no different than anything else. We can get into a fight and you can land some good punches. It only takes one, and the Saints don't have the knockout punch. They don't have that, so they basically gonna get their ass
Do
whooped
they
for
got a
4 rounds.
jab? Do they even have a jab?
I don't even know if they got that. I know what they can do. They can take a hit because they getting
Hmm.
punched in the face every week now. So I mean, now it comes the time of will the Saints respond. You got punched in the face last week. How you gonna respond? I think they're gonna come out there trying to play hard, and then they're gonna realize there's a difference in talent level here. They're going to fight, and I appreciate that after getting your ass whooped. I'm glad you want to get up off the ground, dust yourself off, and fight again. Unfortunately, this person that you fighting is gonna probably whip your ass worse than the last person did, and it's gonna be the same situation until you pick on somebody in your weight class, i.e. the New York Giants. That's gonna let me know who the Saints are. Not getting their ass whooped by Seattle, a better team. Not getting their ass whooped by Buffalo, a by far better team. Even with all the deficiencies Buffalo have on the defensive end, that just means the Saints will lose the game 45-30 instead of 45, to 44. That's all that means, man. It's gonna be the same thing. You're still gonna get 50 points dropped on your neck. So I'm just looking forward to. I just want to see them fight back. And by second half, late third quarter, I'll be taking the wife out on the city so we can go enjoy the rest of our day.
How you feel about the matchup between McCoy and Penning in his debut at guard versus Ed Oliver?
I don't think Ed Oliver plays because I think the Saints is a team that you can just rush people against. Like I'm always confident in Eric McCoy. I worry about who they play at guard. That's why I think the Giants gonna get on the Saints ass. They gonna fuck Dexter Lawrence gonna fuck Trevor Penning up. And then he gonna fuck Ruiz up too. Like McCoy gonna handle his, but that's the one dude I got a bunch of confidence in. Obviously, I let Banks and Fuaga just grow. I know Fuaga dealing with some stuff, but I just let them just grow.
He
But
practiced full today and yesterday, I think.
yeah, I know he should be if he can't if he should perform good this year. Buffalo don't got no like crazy ends. Now next week against New York, it might Brian Burns always played good against the Saints.
I don't
And
know.
even
I see a Devin Neal, Kendra Miller, AK breakout game. That's what I see.
I think I'm on the line with you because I think the Saints gonna do a lot of misdirection and a lot of motion in this game. I think they're gonna try to play Buffalo, make them move side to side while running straight at them. So I do think the Saints gonna fight, but I think
I think
Marlon
they
telling you exactly how
yeah,
it's going.
I think they're gonna fight, but I think they're gonna lose about 45-20.
I think they're
Like
gonna lose
I
by
don't
30
think the
points.
Saints. I think one thing that we haven't seen. I don't think the Saints defense been fully exposed yet. You see the signs of it, but it ain't get fully exposed yet. Like it's gonna be some games. I'm gonna tell you the game who really gonna do it to them. Tampa, because Tampa gonna have everybody back when they do it. Well, most people they're gonna have worse back. They still missing a lineman, but they're gonna have worse back. They're gonna have their running backs. They're gonna have Chris Godwin gonna be 4 weeks in. Mike Evans gonna be probably back 2 weeks back from his hamstring, his annual hamstring injury, and then Ibuka. And then they probably gonna have a kid, Jalen McMillan, back. That's the team that's really gonna beat the shit out the Saints
That's a
in this
fun
before
team
the
to watch,
trade
bro.
deadline.
That's
But
gonna be
like,
a fun team.
but like I think the Bucks. I think the Bucks gonna this gonna be the game where how we talked about the run defense looking better. This gonna be the game where James
Hey,
Cook gonna do
the
whatever the fuck he want.
Bucks put up 51 at our house when we had our starters and stuff. You know,
Yeah,
our defense.
yeah. So like the Bucks going. That's the
Dennis
game.
Allen.
Yeah, they gonna do it, but they gonna do it to the Saints this year too. I think the Rams gonna do it to the Saints because there's nobody on the team that can check Puka, nobody on the team that can check Devontae Adams. The Saints line doesn't get pressure, so quarterback can just wipe their ass back there. Like I I'm not gonna lie, bro. I got this team winning like 2 games max. So like I got them 0-9 at the trade deadline because I don't got them beat New York.
give me,
I
a,
don't
give me,
got them beat.
give me a new hot take, Marlon. It seems like you got a hot take.
Um, I mean, I can't really come with no hot takes. I guess some dudes, depending on who we play, some dudes could be auditioning. Like we can play certain teams, and I say, oh, that player auditioning to play for to get traded to that team. Like I think when you watched last week, I think certain teams. 'Cause I think Chris fit a lot of teams. I think Chris could audition for Seattle. I think because Seattle got a lot of picks. Chris can audition for Seattle. Chris can audition for because his actual skill set, like his real skill set, is not gonna get shown here. But
Mhm.
like Chris can audition for Seattle. He can audition for a team like Arizona because they need somebody that can they need a field stretcher. He's that. Um that's basically what I think. Like we got guys playing the audition for other teams.
OB, besides us praying, besides us bringing our 4-leaf clover, putting it in our back pocket, bringing our rabbit's foot, um, besides the offensive line and Josh Allen catch the flu, what three things is the keys for the Saints to win this game Sunday?
All right, I'm gonna take this seriously, bro. If the Saints really gonna have a realistic chance at winning, the Saints have to make this an ugly game. You don't want to get into a shootout with Buffalo. Their offense is explosive. So what you want to do is try to control the ball. You want to use the three-headed monster of Kendre, of Alvin, and of Devin Neal. You want to use that. You want to use the misdirection to get Buffalo, get their eyes going side to side, and while you running up, running straight at them. And you definitely want to use the seams in the middle of the field. Right now, the Saints run a lot of out routes, man. You got to use the middle of the field better, and you can't use it with Jawan Johnson. So you're gonna need Vele to kind of get healthy and be able to put himself in the seam so he can kind of open things up on the outside. And for God's sake, you got to put the ball down the field. Like you can't dink and dunk your way to beating Buffalo. you're gonna have to take them shot plays, which is why I say they're gonna do a lot of misdirection, a lot of motion. They're gonna try to set up the play action, and Spencer gonna have to take at least, if the Saints win this game, 4 shots downfield. You got to take it. That's 1 a quarter. Take a shot downfield and try to at least catch Buffalo slipping. Secondly, defensively, you got to do something to create a turnover. You got to steal possessions at some kind of way. The Saints going to need to get some kind of pressure on Josh Allen, a sack strip fumble or something like that, man, and try to score on. Like the Saints defense has to step up. And then last but not least, man, control yourself on penalties and third down. For some strange reason, the Saints have a bad habit of right when they're about to get off the field, somebody do something fucking stupid and give the offense a new set of downs, and that you can't give that to Josh Allen. But that goes back to that stealing possessions. So the penalties and the stupid little fucking mistakes that they make and stuff, they gotta cut that down. So if they really want a chance at this game, they gotta play perfect, and then they gotta hold Buffalo, take them lightly, and that's just being honest.
Give me a score prediction.
I'm still taking Buffalo. I mean, let's not get it twisted.
I know, but what's your
I,
score
I
prediction?
I think the Saints gonna put up more points than they have all season. So I think it's gonna be like 51-27 or something like that. I think the Saints gonna put up points. They just can't stop Buffalo, and at some point, Buffalo takes advantage. If Seattle could put up points on them, Buffalo shouldn't have no problem doing it.
They still have Joe Brady?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Marlon? What street thing that the Saints gonna have to do to steal a win in Buffalo?
They're gonna have to control the clock, like in a way, like they have the ball 38 minutes while whatchamacallit have the ball like 22 minutes. They're gonna have to steal a possession. They're gonna have to force multiple turnovers. And then they'll probably have to have like a something big happen in special teams. Um,
Yeah.
I don't think Buffalo like can run with our receivers, but I don't think that we can throw the ball down the field. So it would have to be like something in the run game, or at least controlling it. Because like again, like I said, I'm not gonna criticize Spencer too much because like it's just it doesn't make sense to criticize a fifth round pick. Like he is what he is, but like I know one of his flaws is he's just not accurate down the field. But so we'll have to like run the ball and basically just steal possessions. For the game, I'll probably go Buffalo 45, Saints. Um, I give them 20.
Brian, anything logistically we could do to get a edge? Because we just left Seattle. That's all the way up there on the West Coast. Came back home. Now we got to go all the way to Buffalo on the East Coast, back at the top again. Anything Kellen could do to get the team prepared logistically?
No, not really. Not this time, man. I mean, the best thing he could have did this week was normally the guys come in for on Monday or whatever like that. They kind of watch film and stuff like that. Tuesday is normally an off day. They get started on Wednesdays. The only thing he could have did was possibly change up the schedule. Like, hey, I'm gonna give y'all off on Monday. We'll come in for a film study and a lift on Tuesday. We'll get everything started on Wednesday. So you maybe switch up the routine just a little bit, so you can get away from that, that West Coast time, get back home, get acclimated to being on Central, and then maybe you practice like a grown man and a grown coach should do or whatever like that, instead of this. I don't feel like getting up late because this game is going to be 1 o'clock Eastern time if I'm not mistaken. So you're going to have to prepare yourself as far as getting an hour earlier for everything that you do, so things feel normal to you. So I mean, logistically, nah, not really. All he could do is change up the practice schedule. At this point, he cooked. Because again, the minute that he changes things too much, the team is going to sense panic. And if they sense panic, then it's almost like that old saying or whatever. The team is a reflection of the head coach. The minute he start panicking, they're gonna panic because they're gonna be like, "Why is he doing this?"
All right. Last question before I get y'all both up out of here. Gotta talk about that team across the street, man. Zion, he done lost some weight, man. He done got lean. He got a little tone. Got a goatee, so he got a new look right now. Trey Murphy, he'd have been writing down everything people been saying about the Pelicans, or everything about counting that team out, everything, talking about him in a negative light. Zion say he used to do it, he don't do it no more, but maybe that's going to be different for Trey. Maybe that's going to unleash a fire up under him. Some people are excited for the new season. Some people are feeling like this could be our year. We could make a deep run. Some people liked us last year. They just felt like the injuries was too much to overcome, and a little bit of the head coach. A lot of people are making jokes about Zion, his weight loss. You know, a lot of people are saying, man, this is 7 years in. You know, you ain't about to get me again. I ain't about to fall for it. You know, are the jokes warranted? Or, you know, it just feels different this year. Like, what y'all think about the Pelicans, you know, upcoming season, especially with the Saints just looking, you know, so far gone. It's just almost like Pelicans that only hope for the city. You go first, B.
Shut up and dribble.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. Shut up and dribble. This is Hoodie Mellow all over again for me, man. Like, this is the same old song and dance. This is the do it big. All of a sudden, this is AD, you know, coming back off the you know, sweeping of the Portland Trail. No, man, I've seen this movie before. So if you want me to believe in a different ending, show it to me. I don't want to hear a damn thing Zion and Trey got to say, man. I ain't trying to hear none of that. I don't want to hear any of it, especially when Willie Green's still your head coach. Now, I will say I do like some of the changes that are being made from the front office. I'm not saying Joe Dumars' changes are going to lead to the Pelicans being a playoff team. What I do believe Joe Dumars has done is change the environment, change the attitude. Like, David Griffin once asked everybody either all in or you all out or something like that, man. But I don't think he ever had the intestinal fortitude to pull it off. Joe Dumars does, because Joe Dumars is Mickey Loomis, one of his best friends. Meaning that if Joe Dumars walk in that office and tell Mickey, say, bro, tomorrow I'm trading Zion, it ain't like Mickey, what are you doing? No, it's not gonna be that. It's gonna be like, all right, man, holler at me after the deal is done. Like, that's how much power Joe Dumars has. So when Joe Dumars tells Willie Green, I don't give a shit if you don't like playing rookies, you're going to play them if they earn they keep. I don't care about this bullshit you got up on. You know, they gotta be in your dog. Ain't no more doghouse. Either you play them or I find somebody that will. When Joe Dumars makes statements like that, and now you see Willie Green actually saying to himself, yeah, I'm going to play my young guys. You can't just give them the job. But ain't no way in the world you're gonna tell me Jordan Hawkins didn't earn minutes. Trey Murphy, when he came in, didn't earn minutes. Like, that's been a staple of Willie Green. He don't play young players. And Joe Dumars came in and told him immediately, that shit that you got going on, that ain't gonna work here. That I ain't gonna play no young players just because they're rookies. Nah, bro. Either you play them, I'm gonna get somebody that will. And I think because of that, the new energy, the new attitude, the new direction. I'm not saying the Pelicans are gonna win games, but I honestly believe this year they actually gonna compete. They're gonna try, which is not something I believe under Willie Green that they've ever really done since maybe his own set. If they're a play in team, they'll be lucky. But I just want to see the foundation get built. Let me know that Derek Queen is what I think he is. You know, let me see Peavy and let me see, you know, Jeremiah Fears get in that second unit. I want to see if Jordan Poole can bring the pool party to New Orleans. And I definitely want to see if DeJounte Murray is really what he was in San Antonio, or was he what he was in Atlanta. I want to see it. So for me, the whole Pelicans, all they could do for me is shut up and dribble. I don't want his shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
What you got, Marlon?
I ain't gonna lie, I gave up on the Pelicans, man. I'm just a fan of I just do player stands and shit like that. But I mean, Zion look good. Hopefully y'all can have something to look forward to.
Well,
I'm a root. Like, I ain't gonna. I'm a root for him. Shit, I went to the first. I remember being 5. I went to the first like Hornets preseason game. They had played the Wizards, and like I was like 5. I thought Michael Jordan was gonna play, but he was just in one of those big ass suits. So like I'm a root for him. I just like I'm not about to go get up in arms. I got 3 teams I'll just follow at this point, and they not gonna be winning unless they start winning. If they win, I'll hop back on.
well, I mean, I think
Oh, can I get one more thing?
Go
I'm
ahead.
glad they took that joy, mindfulness, compassion bullshit off the out the gym and the practice facility, bro. This is professional sports. Get that kid shit out of here.
Well, I don't know. I wonder if Joe Dumars had something to do with that.
No,
He did.
it was him.
He did.
See,
He
that's why I
directly
like
said it. That
that's why I
kumbaya shit
like
gotta
him.
go.
Well, that's why I like him, man. I remember they was interviewing him during I think a Saints game or something like that. They was interviewing him, and he was just saying a lot of stuff that I was like, okay, this dude's saying some hard nosed stuff. Like me, I just like well, when it comes to GM, that's kind of different. But for sure, when it comes to a guy that's just overseeing a team, like the head coach, a guy that's maybe overseeing a head coach, I like a masculine man, bro. Like Kellen Moore. He give me Pete Carmichael vibes, bro. He give me Pete Carmichael vibes. Pete Carmichael 2.0, and Joe Dumars, like to me, he give an alpha masculine leader of men. Hey, we about to come up in here. We about to change this. Like that. That's all I can ask for. That's all I want. Especially with everything just looking so bleak with the Saints. Like you gotta have some type of hope. And as far as the roster go, I'm liking the roster. As far as the mentality go, I'm liking that. I think everything else is just going to depend on health, and it's going to depend on the head coach, Willie Green. But, that's going to remain to be seen. But I'm going to go ahead on and let y'all guys get up out of here. B, you could go ahead on and give any closing statements you got, and go ahead on let people know where they can follow you at on Twitter, and let people know when you're going to have the next spaces.
Yeah, man. Next space is probably gonna be Monday after the Buffalo game. After you get a chance to watch it, 24-hour rule is in effect. You 24 hours after you done decompressed, and you can come holler at me and tell me why they pissed you off all over again. Because we're gonna find out more information on Monday as to why they lost on Sunday. That being said, man, follow me on Twitter. Battle Rap Bets, all one word. BATTLERAPBETS. Battle Rap Bets, man. Come holler at me on that. And as far as my last take, man, I really don't have one. I think we kind of, went across the board with it. So we'll see what happens. Oh, you know what? I do have one. 5 Mickey Loomis.
Yeah, man. That's something that we all wish we could get for Christmas, but it ain't happening. At least we don't think so, but it'll be nice. But appreciate you for coming on the show, B, man. It's always a pleasure to have you.
That's what's up, brother. Anytime, you heard?
All right, B.
All right, for sure.
All right, Marlon, go ahead and let people know where they can follow you at, and any closing statements that you got. And let everybody know when you're going to do your Uncle of the Week.
Oh, Uncle of the Week. That's an every week thing. Tuesday mornings, Uncle of the Week. We got an offensive player of the week, and we got a defensive player of the week. So we tuned into the whole league for that. But y'all can follow me on Twitter at It's Rainydoe, ITSRAINEYDOE. And just following B's statement, closing thoughts. I'm gonna take it B. Fire Mickey Loomis, but fire Jeff Ireland, fire Michael Parrington, fire Kai Harley. Like just get rid of the whole front office. And that's pretty much all I got.
Well, sure, I like that too, man. But appreciate you coming on, Marlon.
All right, man. I'll be back.
All right, man. I'll hit you up sometime next week after the Buffalo game.
All right, got you. You take care, bro.
All right. Yeah, man. Shouts out to B. Shouts out to Marlon. Always welcome back on the show. They give some good takes. They got a lot high IQ in football knowledge, man. And we just gonna keep it up. Saints versus Buffalo. I got Buffalo winning. As far as a prediction, I say Buffalo will probably beat us maybe anywhere by like 35 to I say 24. But we probably get some garbage time points. But other than that, it's gonna be ugly the whole game. Hopefully we could go up in there and just compete. Hopefully, we see a guy or two have a good game, like a breakout game where it say like, oh, he gonna be a star. Oh, he gonna be good. He gonna be solid. Hopefully we could get to see a Devin there. Hopefully we could see a Riley. Hopefully we could see a Sanker, Stutzman, Jack Stoll. I just want to see those guys. I want to see the young guns go out there, compete, make a play, go ahead on and stamp themselves. For the rest of the year, all I want to see is young players stamp themselves. That's all I care about, the foundation. But until next time, I'm gonna get up out of here. Who that? If y'all got anything y'all want me to discuss or talk about, go ahead on there, hit up the Gmail, nocapnofilter7@gmail.com, and I could get to it. But until next time, I'm gonna get up at y'all, man. Y'all be good out there. Y'all be safe. Who that?